Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Denver. I'm David Howard, and I'm the senior minister here, and it is my delight to say welcome to you this morning. Wherever you are, we are so glad that you chose to be part of us this morning. I invite you now to say our creed with us, which is, our God is love, our race is human, our faith is oneness. And now, if you know the words, I invite you to sing along with me as we sing Surely the Presence, as we lead into a time of prayer. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. And so I invite you to take a moment, take a breath. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you to do so where you are. And just allow yourself to breathe into the moment, relaxing your body, inviting your mind just to be still a little bit, and just be present, knowing that surely the presence of love is right here and right now, wherever you are. Love is that vibration, the energy of the divine that expressed itself forward into creation as you and as me and as all of us. That we truly are love, and wherever we are, there is love. And as we open our hearts and our minds to the realization of that truth, the realization of love living itself in this moment, we know that that is our reality. It is the only reality for each of us. And we claim it, and we allow it, and we open ourselves to that experience of divine love. And as we know that truth, we allow ourselves to be radiating centers of love. We radiate love out from our hearts into our communities, into the city and the state and the country, and around the globe. We allow that energy of love just to radiate, touching minds and hearts, uplifting all of humanity in this energy of divine love. And we know that we are one in that love, as that love expressing. There is only one life. There is only one love. And we are that right here, right now. And so as we claim it for ourselves, we claim it for each other, we especially claim that truth for anyone on our hearts and minds today who might be experiencing some challenging life situation. Maybe it's an illness, maybe it's a loss of job, maybe it's a loss of a loved one. Whatever that experience is that might be bringing up some feelings of unrest or discomfort, we just hold each one of them in our hearts and our minds. If there's anyone particular for you, please bring them to your mind now and know that we are all holding them together in our hearts. We know that love is the power that heals and harmonizes and joins us all together as one. We celebrate that love right here, right now, and so it is. Amen.
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Well, the strong get more, and the weak ones they fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, and Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Money you've got, lots of friends, they're crowding and they're hanging round your door. But when it's gone and the spending ends, no, they don't come round no more, no more, no more, no. Rich relations they give, crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't you take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child. God bless the child that's got his own.
So that was the amazing Robin Hackett. Robin is always so soulful and present, and I love that. And so thank you, Robin, for being with us today. Today, on the day when we would normally be celebrating Thanksgiving with our community, and unfortunately, no one is here today to celebrate as a community. I'm hoping that each of you will be finding ways to celebrate Thanksgiving, either by yourself or with close family. I know it's a very different time for all of us to be celebrating or experiencing these holidays. It's so different for us all this year. So I really hope that you're able to do that. And just know that while you're not here in body, I want you to know that as I look out into this sanctuary, I see your faces. I know where you usually sit when you're here. And so I see your beautiful smiling faces, and so you're here in spirit, you're here in love, and you're here in our hearts. And so I want you to know that we are with you, even though we're not together in person. And that's important for us to be reminded of. And so today I want to talk about Thanksgiving, maybe in a little bit different way than normal, because I want to use a scripture that is familiar to many of us from the Christian scriptures, from the Sermon on the Mount. And it's actually a scripture I used last Sunday, as a matter of fact. It's from Matthew 5, verses 14 through 16, where Jesus says, "You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to God in heaven." Now, what I want to say about that is that we understand that Jesus was always teaching at different levels. And he would very often use metaphors like that to help us understand. And Jesus was teaching those who were able to hear at whatever level they were able to hear. And so he was teaching, obviously, from a physical perspective, but he was also teaching from a metaphysical perspective, and he was teaching from a unity conscious perspective, a consciousness of non-duality. And so what I think is important for us to understand is that in Jesus' time, that people lived in houses, multiple families lived in the same structure. People who were of a certain socioeconomic status. So they would have their own room in a particular house, and they might be divided by walls or half walls. And so what Jesus was saying, one of the things he was saying in that about letting your light shine, is he was saying to people, if you are in a house with other people and you are the one who has the money to buy oil for your lamp, or you're able to have the fuel to light your lamp and share that light with the other people in the house. Don't hide that light just for yourself. So he's talking on a very physical plane. But as we understand light, he was also talking on that metaphysical plane of light can also represent our own wisdom, the wisdom that comes from our connection with the divine. It can be our own gifts and talents and the things that we have to share with the world. And so in that way, he was also saying, light your lamp, let your light shine, share your gifts and talents with the world. And let other people experience that so you can help them light their lamp as well. And he was also talking on that level of the unity consciousness or the oneness consciousness level where we are the light, where we know that we are the light of the divine. We are that embodied. And as we claim that, as we open ourselves to that experience and to the reality of that, we know ourselves as that. And so when we stand in that, and I think I talked about this a little bit last week, we let that light just shine through us. We are vessels for that light. And so Jesus, in many ways, as I said, was teaching on different levels, at whatever level one was able to hear. He often said, those who have ears to hear, let them hear. And so he was teaching us that we are the light and we're to let that light shine. And what I know about that is that that's true, we are that light. But I also know that sometimes we don't have the fuel for that lamp. I think sometimes that the fuel gets depleted. And I've talked to many people over the past few months and over the past few weeks who have shared with me that they feel depleted, that the things that are going on in the world around us can really deplete our energy. The pandemic and our isolation, quarantining ourselves and not being around other people has a way of somehow depleting our energy. And some people have experienced depression around that, not being able to be with their families. And the holidays. And we're here. Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is right around the corner. And so the pandemic is bringing things, not helping us. It's requiring us to change the way we do things, and it can be hard. It can be draining. All of the political turmoil, divisiveness, and infighting and outfighting that's going on is depleting because it's all around us, and it draws our energy. It draws us in. And it can create for us stress. And stress is depleting to the body. The body reacts to stress by releasing certain hormones, and the body reacts to that. And the body gets tired, and our minds get weary. And so we sometimes don't have the energy to be that light. I understand that. And I want to remind us, and I get to remind myself, that we do all have this. I had the image this morning in my meditation. We all have this internal power generator. Sometimes people have generators in their basement or somewhere in their house just in case the power goes out, their electricity goes out, or something happens, and they have this generator. I don't have one, but I know other people do. And that generator has its own fuel. It has its own source of fuel. But if you're going to use the generator, that fuel source has to be filled up. But we have that within us. We have this internal power generator that we get to fill up. And it's important that we do what we can to keep it filled up, so that when we need it, we can really turn it on and let it power our light. So it's about connecting with the source, the one source of all power, the source that is the only power. God, Allah, light source, life energy. I have a friend that calls it Gus, great universal spirit. Whatever you want to call it, it's that one power, one presence, one source that is the source of all. And our opportunity in fueling up that internal power generator is to connect with that source. And we can do that through prayer and meditation and contemplation. Many of us have our daily practices of reading inspirational material, having a daily devotional. Sometimes it's important to connect with other people to help fill that up. I love going out into nature and hugging trees and just sitting and letting the sun just warm me, or taking a walk. Whatever it takes for us, whatever practice we might engage in, to really fuel up that internal power generator so that it can fuel our light, so we can shine that light out in the world. And I know that that's important for all of us, to take care of ourselves, to do what really nurtures us and to feed us and to fuel us. And then we have to do something to get that generator started, to sort of prime the pump, so to speak. I had this image of, I remember those old power generators, kind of like those old lawnmowers, where you had to crank it, you had to pull the cord so you could crank it up. And I had that image of that, how do I start that generator so that I can really fuel that light? But I realized that we don't have to do that. It doesn't take a lot of work. In fact, now they have push buttons where you just push the button, and kind of like your car, you just push the button now and it starts. And so we have a push button on that internal generator. And what I think that is, one of the things that I think that is gratitude. That gratitude primes the pump for that internal generator to allow that energy to start to flow. That we practice gratitude, and gratitude gets that energy flowing. It gets the energy flowing so that we can be inspired, and we can fuel that light that is within us. And gratitude is a practice. It is a practice that we get to engage in. And it's a practice that changes our energy. You know, as I talked about, stress can really affect the body. It releases certain hormones within the body, and the body reacts. But gratitude, as an elevated emotion, also stimulates things within the body. So the body releases different emotions, and the body reacts in a different way. It changes our chemistry. It changes our energy. It changes the energy that we project out into the world. It changes our energy signature, so to speak. And so we begin to attract more and more and more and more things that are in alignment with the energy of gratitude. So gratitude is an important practice. And I think about it in three different ways, actually. There's the idea of gratitude for, that we're grateful for things that happen in our lives. We're grateful for the things that we have in our lives. And we asked you, our community, to send us in your gratitudes, things that you're grateful for. And some of you did send in statements about that. So I'm going to share those with you now so that you can connect with some of the people from our community who shared with us what they're grateful for this year. So Deb Dumling said, "I am grateful for the friendships that have deepened this year as we communicate more from the heart." Thank you, Deb. Karen Dreyer shared this: "I am especially grateful this year for good books to read, fun puzzles to construct, healing for my body, and dogs to walk. These blessings are on top of having a God who watches over me, a church that allows me to worship, a loving husband and family, caring friends, a home for safety and shelter, heat, water, food, transportation, a job to provide me with an extra purpose, beautiful places to see, and a country that allows me the freedom to have all these things in my life." That's powerful. Thank you, Karen, for sharing that with us. Mildred Freeney Hilton writes this: "On November 23rd, which is tomorrow, and this is November 23rd, 1980, I became a member of the Unity Church of Denver, now Unity Spiritual Center. 40 years have flown by while I taught Sunday school, attended many, many classes, ushered and served on 2 ministerial search committees." Congratulations, Mildred, for 40 years. And we are grateful for all of the ways that you have contributed to this community, this ministry over those 40 years. I know you were on the ministerial search team when I was hired, so I thank you for that, and I really enjoyed connecting with you around that. So congratulations and thank you again. Also, Mildred says, "I have survived 5 brain surgeries, stage 2 triple-negative breast cancer, multiple sclerosis, multiple eye surgeries, very painful arthritis, and other conditions." That is something to be grateful for. Thank you for sharing that. "For 43 years, I was married to a wonderful man, William John Hilton, and we raised 2 daughters, Carolyn and Stephanie. We also played a role in the lives of our granddaughters, Charlotte and Josephine. William died August 24th, 2019, and I am grateful for my wonderful family memories." Thank you, Mildred, for sharing that with us. And Jeannie Johnson writes this: "I am grateful for my family and being a great aunt to Claire and new baby Thomas. I am grateful for a family of friends and for Zoom, walks in beautiful Denver parks, time for silence and meditation and spiritual connections, including Unity Spiritual Center. It's a wonderful time to be alive and to witness worldwide outpouring of kindness, compassion, and generosity." Thank you, Jeannie. Lynn and Phyllis Hoover contributed this: "We are thankful for our church, Unity Spiritual Center Denver, and its wonderful leadership. And we are grateful for the divine gifts of love, life, light, joy, and peace, and all their beautiful expressions. Our love to all, and our love to you," Phyllis and Lynn. And this from Pat Shepard: "I am thankful for my friends and family, the inventor of Zoom, so I can keep in touch with everyone at a distance. and also keep my brain active by taking classes and learning new things. I'm thankful for the ability to walk in nature and the abundance of sunshine we have had this year to keep my spirits up while adjusting to our new world. Thank you, Pat. Thank you all for sharing your gratitudes with us in that way. I wish you could be here to share in person, but thank you for sharing those with us and for sending your photos in so we can all see your beautiful faces as we connect with you. There's also, that's about being thankful for things on the outer, things that we experience, and that's a beautiful way to experience gratitude. I also encourage you to do a gratitude list or a gratitude journal, something that keeps that energy flowing. Gratitude is such a wonderful expression of how to keep it going. Paul, in his first letter to the Thessalonians, admonishes them to be thankful in all things. And Paul, just a little context for that, Paul, was one who helped to establish many of the churches in the region. And in Thessalonica, there was a small church that was established there. And Paul would often write these letters. All of those letters that we read, that we have in the Scripture, are letters that he wrote to these churches to encourage them and to support them. Because, they were new Christians. And they were all learning how to be in community together and how to keep their minds and their hearts open. Because in this letter, Paul writes to the people at Thessalonica, he is writing to them to encourage them to be ready. Be ready for the second coming, so to speak. The early Christians thought that Jesus Christ was going to come back in body very soon, and that they were going to then be taken to heaven. And so Paul was writing to the churches saying, always be prepared. Always be prepared because he will come as a thief in the night, is what he says in that letter. And that idea that you just don't ever know, so you've always got to be prepared. Well, in Unity, we don't hold to that idea that Jesus is going to come back in the body, but that we are the ones who are to bring that Christ consciousness into manifestation here on the earth. And so we can take that from him and say, what he was also telling us is that gratitude, again, is a way to open, a way to be aligned to that energy of the divine. That gratitude is a practice that keeps us in the consciousness of the Christ, so that as we practice thanksgiving, practice gratitude, we can again align to that energy, attune to that energy, and be the embodiment of the energy of the Christ. And so we become the second coming. There are many other things he says in the letter that are powerful, but he says be thankful in all things. He doesn't say be thankful for all things. Thank God, because it would be difficult for us to be thankful for all things. Or we're not going to be thankful for the pandemic. We're not going to be thankful when somebody is ill or somebody dies or we lose a job or a relationship. It's not about being thankful for, but he's saying find a place of gratitude in whatever happens. Find that generating that energy of gratitude. Practice gratitude, even in those times when things are happening that may be painful. That gratitude, again, is that practice that allows the flow of that energy and connection with that energy. And I know that can be challenging, but it's important for us to learn to practice, can I find something in this to be grateful for? Even if it's being grateful for the sunrise or being grateful for someone smiling at you or whatever that might be. Another idea of gratitude that Eric Butterworth presented. In one of his talks, Eric Butterworth was a Unity minister who was a minister in New York, a large church, and I think it was he did his talks in Carnegie Hall in New York. I think it was Avery Fisher Hall at Carnegie Hall. I think that's right. Please don't, you may correct me, but I think that's true. And it was full. And so he was a very popular minister, New Thought minister, Unity minister. And this came from one of his talks called The Attitude of Gratitude. He said, this brings us to the heart of the inner meaning of gratitude. God is within you. The whole universe stands behind you to a degree equal to the full extent of your needs. All the power of heaven and earth are working on your side. On the side of healing, on the side of overcoming. In other words, thanksgiving is not just a reactionary emotion. Something happens and you give thanks for it or gratitude for it. Something that you feel when good things happen to you. Gratitude is a causative energy. An energy that listens to the highest level of consciousness, enabling us to experience the highest quality of life. This is the idea of gratitude. Always we have much to feel grateful from, not for or in, but from. Because you're a spiritual being, you're the whole universe expressing itself as you. You have the whole universe in your support. Never forget and lose sight of this consciousness. Though you may grovel in the dirt, always remember that the divine flow is within you. You always have that to be grateful from. So it's a different way of experiencing it, grateful from the awareness that you are the living enterprise of the universe. You are God in expression. And when we know that, when we can center in that awareness, gratitude is that seeming like that. How can you not be grateful for that? How can you not experience gratitude when we know? And we know that the universe is supporting us at every moment, every turn. The universe is right there. God is there. That power is right there with us. And so it's that awareness of experiencing gratitude. It's that experience of that gratitude within us. And so gratitude is a practice, and gratitude is energy, and gratitude is consciousness. But gratitude, the feeling of gratitude is one thing. How do we express that? Brother David Steindl-Rast, who is a monk and a founder of the website called gratefulness.org, talks about gratitude as having these two different branches. The gratefulness, which is the feeling and the awareness of great gratitude, but also thanksgiving, which is the expression of that. It's expressing it outwardly, the great gratefulness. And Butterworth also says something about that. He says, to emphasize another aspect of thanksgiving is to understand that the Hebrew word for thanksgiving is todah, or T-O-D-A-H, I think it's todah, which literally means stretching forward of the open hands. It's a beautiful thing if you can get the Thanksgiving consciousness. You don't have to get into the mountains or up a tree, top of a house, sit in your garden, sit in the park. Stretch forth your hands in blessing to conditions and relationships everywhere. Perfectly project a positive and loving blessing to everyone and everything that has touched your life. Cultivate the attitude of gratitude. It will keep you constantly in the creative flow. Todah, stretch forth your hands. So giving thanks is about giving it away. Giving the energy of gratitude out, stretching forth your hands. And I would also say opening your heart and stretching forth that energy from your heart. And we can do that in so many different ways. We can do that, as he suggested, with the energy of blessing. You know, we can bless people with that energy as we walk down the street, or as we go to the grocery store, or even as we see people on television. We can extend that energy of blessing through a silent word, through a thought of blessing, that we're giving from that wellspring of life, of gratitude within us. We can write a letter to someone, telling them how grateful we are for something they did to contribute to our lives. We can have a conversation with someone and share with them how grateful we are for what they did or how they enriched our lives in some way, how they blessed us. And it's important to express that gratitude through giving, thanksgiving. It's extending out. And we can also extend out through our good. Very often we can bless people or bless organizations or bless people who are doing great work with giving from our good, from our financial good, if that works for us. But one of the things I think we can give that we often may discount is that we can give of our time, of our energy, of our love, if it's simply through a phone call to a friend or a neighbor or someone who may be feeling down, someone who may be having a hard time having this Thanksgiving alone. We can give of our presence. I know we can't be together in person, and that's unfortunate. Because sometimes you can really, you feel the connection with people more when you're in person with them. You can connect with them. But we can connect through the phone or through Zoom, as several people said they were thankful for. I'm thankful for it as well. So giving of ourselves is meaningful as well to others. And so as we look at Thanksgiving this year, I just encourage you, even though it's going to be different, allow Thanksgiving, I encourage you to allow Thanksgiving this year to be a time where you allow yourself just to fuel up that inner generator, connecting with the divine through prayer and meditation and nature, if you can get out in nature, or in many other ways. Sometimes it's movement, sometimes it's yoga, whatever it is, singing. Music is a beautiful way to connect with that divine life. Fuel yourself up with that. Use gratitude as a way to get that flowing and to ignite that generator within you so that you can be an expression of that. Practice gratitude. Have a gratitude journal, write a gratitude prayer, many ways to experience that gratitude. And then give it. Give something of yourself so as an expression of thanks. And again, it doesn't have to be anything major. It can be a smile. And even if you go to the grocery store and you are wearing a mask, which hopefully you would be, the people in the grocery store and those behind the cash register can tell you're smiling just by your eyes. They can feel it, they can sense it. You can say a kind word to them, thanking them for their service, for their willingness. So I just encourage us to be in that spirit of thanksgiving, a spirit of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, expression of gratitude, and to give thanks. Not only for what we have, but also for other people, for our experience, and give thanks for our knowing that we are that life energy in expression. How can we give from that place? So, happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you find a way or ways to celebrate this year that enrich your life greatly and enrich the lives of those, your friends, your family, and those who are in your inner circle. Make it a beautiful expression in any way that you can. Happy Thanksgiving. So I invite you now to take a moment and take a breath as we go into that time of meditation. And as you breathe in, invite your awareness to move down into your heart. And even deeper, beneath your heart, down into that place of your solar plexus, that place of power, where that power generator, internal generator is, between that place of power and love, right there at the center of your being. And as you open to connect, invite you to be aware of that life that is breathing you, the life that is beating your heart, the life that connects you with all creation, the one power, one presence that is living itself as you. This moment, open up to receive that, know that, allow that, filling yourself up with the awareness of that divine life right here, right now, living itself as you. And bring to mind something that you're grateful for, someone, something, and just allow that image to fill your mind and open you up to feeling that energy of gratitude. Feel the energy of gratitude rising up in you for the knowing that you are that life, that power, that presence, right here and right now. And as you open your heart, I invite you to allow that energy to move up and move down through your arms as you stretch your hands open. Stretch your arms open and your hands open wide to give, to share, to bless. And allow that energy to flow through you, that energy of gratefulness and gratitude and love. As you extend that out through your heart, down your arms, out your hands, to bless others. Just feel that energy surrounding your loved ones. Maybe it's family that you won't be seeing this Thanksgiving. Just see that energy surrounding them, blessing them. See that energy extending to all of those who are serving in so many different ways. Those who are in the hospitals serving those who are ill. Those who are in the grocery stores, stocking the groceries so that you can have the things that you need. Those who are there tending the cash register, where you can check out and receive, and to receive all of that you need. Those who are in other stores. Those who are there to serve. Extend that blessing to them. And now I invite you to bring someone to mind or to heart that you might even have a challenge with, somebody that you might not like, somebody that you might have an issue with in some way, and just allow that energy to extend out to them as well. Moving down, open your heart, down your arms, through your hands and out. It's all energy as it moves out to bless. Open your arms, stretch out your hands, and know that you are a blessing to the world. And in that space of blessing and sharing and giving, I just invite you, as we take a little time in the silence, to see if there's anything that comes to you, any situation, any person that draws that energy from you, and just allow that energy to move, to bless, to share, to give, to transform. What can I give? How can I serve? As I open wide my heart, as I open wide my arms, as I spread my hands out to give. Just allow. And take a deep breath. And bring your hands back to yourself. Place them over your heart, blessing yourself with that light, with that love, with that energy. Receive it, allow it, be it. Breathe it all the way down through the bottom of your feet, right here, right now. As you take a deep breath, coming back into the space where you are, we open our eyes.
Open wide my heart. 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 My heart. My heart. My heart.
So now's the time in our service where you have the opportunity to give, to share from your good, to support the ministry here at Unity Spiritual Center Denver. I just want to say thank you, my gratitude for you, for all the ways that you support and continue to support this ministry, even though you're not here in person, that your energy through your money blesses and supports this ministry, so thank you for that. So now I invite you to say our offertory blessing with me. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am thankful.
Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through a storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful. I hugged an old oak tree, the earth beneath my feet. and saw a shooting star above. I looked into your eyes and touched an open heart and fell into a whole lot of love. And all the while I could not help but see, oh, the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, Lord, and I'm thankful, oh Lord, yes I am, and I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. All the while I could not help but see, oh, the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord, yes I am, and I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. I am so peaceful, yes, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, oh, yes I am. I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am, and I'm thankful, oh, I am, yes, oh, I am, yes, I am, oh, I am, so grateful, so thankful, so grateful, so thankful. Yes, I am. I am. Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you once again, Robin Hackett with us. Thank you for being here, Robin. We so appreciate you and your music. And I wanted to invite you to join us at 11:30 for our fellowship time on Zoom. The link to that, you should have received it in your newsletter if you get the newsletter. If you don't, please send us an email at info@unitydenver.org and we can add you, or go to our website and you can add yourself. And the link will be posted here in this in the comments section here. So please join us at 11:30 for that, especially since we're not able to get together in person for our usual Thanksgiving feast. We'd love to see your faces and connect with you. Now I invite you to join me as we say our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. And now join me as we sing our closing song, Love Can Move the World. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves the trees. Feel the winds of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Come